yeah, those are little details that probably when you're listening you don't notice, but it makes it really sound complete.
You want to have a good balance between it being epic and big.
So anybody that doesn't like that first kick,
yeah,
you can blame him.
Hello everybody, we are Rebellion and we are here with Decibel to talk about our anthem and some memories, baby.
My first Decibel was 2013 as a visitor, and I think you were the year after?
Year after, yeah.
Yeah, if I remember correctly. So I had been to 2 Decibels just as a visitor on the campsite. Yeah, for me it was always, it felt like a really Dutch festival. Like it felt really like to the core.
When I hear about Decibel, it makes me think of good times. Obviously, like we mentioned before, me and Gary went there as visitors. So to make that transition from, you know, being in the crowd, like being there passionately, enjoying the music, to performing, it was really sick. When
I first went to Decibel as a visitor, I wasn't actually into the harder styles. It was more like euphoric. And then when I went to Loudness, the area, that was where I kind of was like, whoa.
Yeah, when we got asked to do the Decibel anthem, yeah, we were super honored. It's a huge achievement, and already, like, from the moment they asked us, we already kind of knew what we wanted to do and what kind of sound we wanted to bring to it. Obviously, like, we've played at Decibel, we've been there as visitors, so we have a good experience of what we feel a Rebellion Decibel anthem should sound like. So, yeah, we were just excited to start. We almost started immediately when they asked us, so.
Yeah, some of our favourite anthems are actually Decibel anthems, you know, from back in the day, like Summer in the City and stuff. So, yeah, it was a big honour to be part of that kind of collection of great artists.
I think when working on an anthem, it's different from just a regular Rebellion track because you need to kind of cater to a broader audience. I mean, the anthem for the festival should be for everyone, not just a specific fan base. Like a typical Rebellion song is quite accessible, I would say, to the majority of people anyway. But I think you really need to dive into the smaller parts that really need to connect with people's emotions.
I believe the first thing that we actually made was the melody. Because, in my opinion, if you get the melody right, the rest of the track becomes easier. But if you're not sure on the melody, then everything kind of sounds mwah.
You want to have a good balance between it being epic and big, but still something that people can sing along to and it gets stuck in their head, so.
There's a funny story about the melody is that we wrote a really old school melody to start with because we were really inspired by obviously the old school songs. But what we realised in making that was that it wasn't Rebellion. So a couple of the melodies we wrote, they sounded good, but they sounded like other artists. And then we both said to each other, this should be a Rebellion melody, you know, like what we do. So we did eventually come to that.
Something that I'm personally proud of that I think people might not notice in the beginning is all the small, like, kind of orchestra elements. Like, we put a lot of effort into creating a progression that isn't really standard. It's more kind of like how do I say it, theatrical in a way, but still being able to connect the theatrical side to a hardstyle. It doesn't sound too much like a Disney anthem or something like that.
Something that sometimes happens as a producer when you're in a studio for so long is that you get used to things, and normally what we do is we like render it out and then we listen to it like when we're not in the studio, obviously. And sometimes that's where you really can tell if you like something, so you can listen to the melody again and you're like, maybe it's not so epic. But for me, every single time, even when there was other things in the track that we weren't sure about, every time I listened to the melody, I was like, yep, that's gonna be massive, so. The only disagreement we had was on the intro kick, the first one.
First kick.
And Raymond won, so it's still on the track. So anybody that doesn't like that first kick,
yeah,
you can blame him.
I think, like Gary said, you wanted more like a full-on gated kick.
Yeah, it's just preference. I think the kick that we have right now in the intro is a really good kick. but just when I was hearing it on the build-up. But to be honest, we did make some changes from that and other things that I think have improved
it, yeah. We actually did it in the mid-intro, now that I think about it, where we're going to use this weird kind of bassy kick, but we decided to go for like a full-on Rebellion slammer. I think the atmosphere that 100% had to be in Anthem was that typical big Rebellion epicness vibe. You know, that's also why we asked Micah to be on the Anthem again, because I think Rebellion and Micah Martin together just creates this special atmosphere in the track that 100% needs to be in there. So I think that's why we asked him to be there specifically.
When we approached Micah, we told him, like, we explained to him what we think Decibel is, because we try not to tell Micah word for word what to sing, because obviously he's really talented. So we totally explained to him it's the loudest city and everyone comes along. So that it's a pretty simple vocal when you hear the words. The meaning's pretty obvious, but I think it tells the story of what Decibel is in a really simple way. In the anthem where it goes from the vocal into a build-up for the mid-intro and stuff, and yeah, those are little details that probably when you're listening you don't notice, but they take a lot of time and you need to get them right, and yeah, so, but it makes it really sound complete.
I think when I think about Decibel, I really get flashbacks to that performance we done as Overdose. Like looking at it afterwards, with all the lights on the main stage as Overdose, it just looked fucking nuts.
But actually the year that we done Overdose in Loudness was the year that we, you could say, premiered the first Zag kick. It was in DLM, and yeah, which was crazy at the time. We never thought that one kick would now like spur on subgenres or whatever, but that was the moment where we premiered it for the first time, right? It was Decibel, and you could just hear the sound in the arena, like everyone's screaming.
You could hear the kick drop, and it was something I'd never heard before, like in terms of how it sounded live. I was like, oh shit. That was a serious moment.
When we were playing, I think in 2017, there was a fan who was the kick roll king. He was doing all the kick rolls, and he was on the front bit of the stage, and he was trying to shout to tell us what song to play, and I couldn't really understand what he was saying. I put the booth monitor down, and then he was saying, "A bomba, a bomba." Remember? And we were like, "What is he saying?" And he was like, "A bomba."
He showed you
and I was like, phone, I don't know, A-bomb. We don't have a song called A Bomba, and then he showed me and it was A-Bomb. And I was like, A-Bomb? And he was like, yes, A Bomba. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, we played it the right, and he was like, yeah, yeah.
There was one time at Decibel where I got left on my own, and when you've been away the whole day partying hard and drinking and whatnot, I remember I was like, right, my tent is definitely here. And then I walked there and I was like, this is not my tent. And I'm looking around, I'm like, I don't know this place. And it took me quite a while to get my bearings right. And I was like, right, there's the store. My tent was definitely over there. And then luckily I made it home. But you have that moment of panic, because I'm like, I was certain I was fucking living here.
Yeah, so there was one year where I went with a few friends and we left someone and we told them we'd be back in an hour, and we didn't see them till the closing, to the end, and yeah.
After party until sunrise, baby.
I'm boring, I would be sleep early. Oh, the regular Decibel camping, 100%. Where you guys are, the normal camping, that's where the party is.
Lose my voice, you can always, you have notes on your phone, you can hold up, get me beer, please.
VIP deck.
Yeah, we've always
free
been
alcohol,
VIP.
baby.
We've always kind of been loving a little bit on the side or whatever, right?
I always find if you're in the middle of the crowd, it becomes a problem for the toilet, that's why.
Yeah, and drinks, and we drink a lot. So if we're at VIP, there's a bar there, and we don't need to move, bro. What's up, guys? We are Rebellion. Catch us on Saturday at Decibel Outdoor, where you can catch us playing our motherfucking anthem, boy. done. I fucking swear.
The loudest sin is